Most gardeners think in two dimensions, length and width. You measure your bed, you map out your plants, and you fill the ground. And that works until it doesn't. Because the moment your plants mature, every inch of that bed is spoken for. You've hit your ceiling. What most gardeners never realize is that the ceiling isn't the problem. The empty space above it is. Today, I'm going to show you the vertical stacking system, a three-tiered spatial layout that uses the air above your bed as productive growing space. Same footprint, same soil, significantly more harvest. This isn't a planting tip, it's a geometry change. And once you see how the layers work together, you won't plant a bed any other way. Here's what a standard garden bed actually looks like when you map it honestly. You've got your soil, you've got your plants, and above those plants, nothing, just air. Now, that might seem obvious, but think about what you actually spent to build that bed. You bought soil, you amended it, you fertilized it, you watered it, you protected it. All of that investment, all of that work is pointed straight up at empty space you're never using. We call this the flat surface trap, and almost every home gardener falls into it. Not because they're doing something wrong, but because that's how gardening has always been taught. Row by row, plant by plant. Flat. The problem with flat gardening isn't that it fails, it's that it has a hard limit. Once your canopy closes, once your tomato leaves are touching your pepper leaves or touching your lettuce, there's nowhere left to go. You're not getting more yield out of that bed, you're just maintaining what you have. And here's what makes it worse. Some of those plants are actively working against each other at that point. The tall ones are stealing light from the short ones. The wide ones are crowding the narrow ones. You've got competition where you could have cooperation. That's the core problem the vertical stacking system solves. It doesn't just add more plants to the same space, it reorganizes the space so every plant is working with the plants around it instead of against them. Tall plants create shade. Shade-tolerant plants fill that shade. Mid-level plants catch the light gaps in between. Nothing is wasted. No layer is empty. That's the shift we're making today. So let's build this. The vertical stacking system works in 3 layers, and each layer has a specific job. Get the jobs right, and the whole system runs itself. Tier 1, the climbing layer. These are your tallest plants. Tomatoes, cucumbers, pole beans, anything that climbs or stakes. This first tier does 2 things. First, it defines the vertical skeleton of the bed. It's your structure. Everything else gets positioned around it. Second, it creates the canopy. And that canopy isn't a problem in this system. It's a resource because the shade it produces is exactly what the ground layer needs to survive. When you're planting this tier, think about sun direction. Place your tomatoes and cucumbers on the north side of the bed. That's for northern hemisphere gardens. So their shadow falls back over the bed during the main growing season, rather than out in front of it. 1 row of climbing plants, north edge, staked or caged before anything else goes in. That's your foundation. Those climbing plants just created something useful, a light gap between the top of the canopy and the soil below. Tier 2 lives in that gap. This is the most underbuilt layer in most home gardens. Tier 2, the mid-level. Peppers, bush beans, compact herbs like basil or oregano, plants that top out somewhere between knee height and waist height. Their job is to fill the light gap between the climbing plants above and the ground below. In a flat garden, that gap just exists. Light hits it and nobody's using it. In a stacked system, the mid-level captures it. Peppers handle partial afternoon shade better than most fruiting crops, which makes them a natural fit positioned in front of and beside your climbing plants. They're also your production workhorse. Peppers and bush beans are high-yield plants for their footprint. A well-placed pepper plant will consistently outperform crowded ones competing for the same light. Position your mid-level plants in the center band of the bed. Give them enough spacing to breathe, don't pack them in, and let the climbing plants behind them do the work of softening the afternoon light. Tier 3, the ground layer. This is the front edge of the bed, right at soil level. Most gardeners leave it completely empty. It's the layer that changes your yield the most. Lettuce, spinach, radishes, cilantro, low-growing, fast-maturing plants that perform better with filtered light than full sun once the season heats up. In the middle of summer, these plants bolt in full sun. They turn bitter. In peak summer heat, they go to seed within weeks. But in a stacked system, the climbing plants above them are filtering the light. The lettuce and radishes at ground level use what the tiers above create: filtered light, reduced afternoon heat, and soil that holds moisture longer than an exposed bed. You're not fighting the season, you're using your own plant structure to modify it. Place your lettuce and radishes along the front edge of the bed, close to the soil. Sow them in short succession rows, 2 weeks apart, so you're not harvesting everything at once. Keep them close to the soil, close to the moisture, and let the canopy above do the work of protecting them. Now here's what makes the system more than just a planting arrangement. Each tier is supporting the ones around it. The climbing plants create structure and shade. The mid-level captures wasted light and produces high-yield crops in the center band. The lettuce and radishes at ground level get exactly what they need from the tiers above: shade falling across the soil, filtered light through the leaves, and ground that stays damp longer than an open bed. You're not just growing more plants in the same space, you're building a self-reinforcing system where each layer makes the other layers more productive. That's the difference between a layout and a system. A layout fills space, a system uses it. So what does this actually look like in practice? Take a standard 4x4 raised bed. In a flat layout, most gardeners fit one type of crop per season in that space. Maybe 4 tomato plants, maybe a row of peppers and a row of lettuce that gets abandoned once July hits. The bed produces, but only one layer at a time. Now run the same bed through the stacking system. The back row holds 2 staked tomato plants on the north edge. The center band holds 2 pepper plants and a short row of bush beans. The front edge holds a succession-sown row of lettuce and radishes under the shade of everything behind it. That is 3 active harvests running simultaneously in the same 16 square feet. Your tomatoes are climbing, your peppers are producing, your lettuce is staying cool and productive 2 months longer than it would in an open bed. The bed isn't bigger. The season isn't longer. The system is just using the space you already had. Here's the thing about vertical stacking. It doesn't feel urgent to plan in advance. When the bed is empty and the season is weeks away, it's easy to think you'll figure it out when you get there. But by the time your tomatoes are 4 feet tall and your lettuce is bolting in June, the window to stack is closed. The system has to be built into the plan before the first plant goes in the ground. That means now. Sketch the 3 tiers on paper before you buy a single transplant. North edge, climbing plants. Center band, mid-level. Front edge, lettuce, radishes, ground crops. Mark your sun direction, note your spacing. That's the whole plan. It takes 10 minutes and it changes the entire output of the bed. If you want to take this further, the next step is pairing the stacking layout with a succession schedule, so your ground layer is never bare and your harvests are spread across the whole season instead of landing all at once. I've got a full video on succession planting that maps directly onto this system. Watch that next. I'll see you in the garden.